Hello, so today I'm going to be doing my cheek product collection. I thought since my eyeshadow palette collection did decent, I thought maybe you guys would be interested in my cheek products. So we're going to go through face palettes today. We're going to go through bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with my face palettes. I don't really have that many, so let me just quickly grab them for you right now. I am going to grab these. Is this all I have? I swear I had more than that. Oh yeah, I have this one. Is this it? I think this is it. So, I only have 6 face palettes. So I'm going to start with my smaller ones. They're like 3 pan. So this is the Flower Beauty highlighting palette. So it's a trio of 3 highlighters. And I love this palette. These highlighters are really smooth and really nice. If you need a good highlight, these are really awesome, really good. Some of these are a little pale for me because I have a medium skin tone, so I don't find them very good for my skin tone. Sometimes, you know. So then I have, well, I'm not medium, I'm more like I'm on the darker side of light. So I'm like light medium, like, you get my point. This is the Hyper Real Glow palette, and it's the Flash Plus All one from MAC. And these are 3 highlighters, and I love these highlighters. I love traveling with this palette because I can use all 3 shades. My most expensive face palette is my Hourglass Sculpted palette that came out this year. This is the this year palette. I no longer support Hourglass just because they don't include other people's skin tones. But that was before I knew about that. I just really wanted to try their powders because I have heard that they're really awesome. So this is the palette that I ended up with. I love the blushes. The blushes. I love the 2 powders a lot. I use them almost every day. The bronzer works well for me. The only thing I don't like in this palette is this highlight. It's just not very nice. It's not very pigmented. And it doesn't really look good on my skin. You can barely tell it's there. But yeah. Next face palette I have is my glow kit from Anastasia, which I used to have the Sugar Glow kit, and I just grabbed the 2 shades I liked from that palette, and I kept the 2 shades I liked from this palette. So this is my glow kit. As you can see, I've hit major pan on these 2, which are the 2 I have from my Sugar Glow kit, and these 2 are from the original Sundance. This is my next face palette. This is the palette by BH Cosmetics, and it's the Blushing in Bali, and it comes with 3 blushes and 3 highlighters. The only 2 highlighters I can use are the first 2, and then I use all the blushes. I use these 2 more with a light hand, and sometimes I mix these 2. I hit pan on this baby pink shade. It's really pretty, and they're very pigmented and really nice. I'll give you some swatches of the ones I wear the most. Like, they're very silky, which I like. This is the only product I currently have from BH Cosmetics, but I used to be a really big fan of theirs when I was in middle school. But yeah, so these are the 2 highlighters. So I like mixing these 2 together because you can see this one's a little pale. And then I have the 2 blushes, which are not going to be as pigmented because they don't make a good pigmented blush formula, which I honestly like. I like them when it comes to pigment and blushes. I like there to be a medium pigmentation. My next palette, face palette, is the Blush Bar palette from Benefit. And these are the blushes. They're really pretty. It also comes with Hoola bronzer. Yes, I did break the mirror. I'm glad that none of the shades broke though. So, I'm gonna be real with you. I find their blushes kind of sheer. I really like blush, so their blushes are really sheer to me. Like, the only shades I really like are California and Rockateur because they're the only things that really have pigment. I like Hoola too, but I just find them very sheer. I mean, they swatch nice, but I just find them hard to build up sometimes. But yeah, those are the 2 shades I like. Now I'll show you the 2 shades I don't really care for, which is Dandelion and Gold Rush. Gold Rush just doesn't impress me. And this is Dandelion. See, like, they kind of both look the same, but Gold Rush is just a little sheerer with more like refined gold glitter. So next I'm going to talk about bronzer because that's what I normally do first on my face. I only have 5 bronzers, so this is going to be really quick. So let me go ahead and open my face drawer. I'm going to just hold it up for you. This is my face drawer. Alright, so now let's get on with bronzers. So I'm going to start with the 2 that I own 2 from. Wait, no, I have 6 bronzers, I think. I don't know. I'll count them on the way. So I have 2 Milani bronzers. The first one I have is the one I love during the summer. It's the glowy bronzer. So it's very glowy. It has a nice sheen to it, which I really like. It's very sheeny, and it's really good for my skin tone. And then I have the matte bronzer in 01, which looks like this. And then I have my butter bronzer, which is broken, and I hit major pan on it. This is actually my 3rd Physicians Formula butter bronzer. Then I own my ColourPop Private Party bronzer, which I also hit major pan on. I love this bronzer. It's really awesome. Yep, I have 6. I have 6. So then my next bronzer I have is my new favorite bronzer at the moment, which is my Nabla bronzer in the shade Ambra. It has a really nice sheen to it. It's really pretty. And then my favorite cream, which is the only cream I currently have, is the Milk Makeup one. The Milk Makeup one in Baked, which looks like that. It's really pretty. It's actually the bronzer I'm wearing today, so it's super pretty. Now let's move on to blush. So now we're going on to blush. I have 2 ColourPop blushes. I have the shade Love Story, which I reused in my last Get Ready With Me, and it actually stayed. It was the Hydro Grip Primer that didn't work with my skin. So yeah, this is a really good blush. I also have the blush from the She's Got Solstice collection in the shade Meteorite. It has a question mark after it, and it's more matte. It's like a matte mauve shade. I have the Too Faced Just Peachy blush, and this was my first blush, so I've hit major pan on it, and I love it. By the way, if you hear meowing, that is my cat. This is the Burt's Bees blush in Bare Peach. I might bring her in at the end. Bare Peach blush. That just fell out. Well, poopy. Well, I'm gonna still keep it, but it did fall out. Alright, so now let's get into my blush container, which is right here. Let's start. So I'm gonna start with my Kaleidos blushes. These are probably some of my favorite blushes. So I have both shades that they came out with. These are currently discontinued because they're reformulating them and getting them new packaging. So I'm guessing they're probably gonna come out with more shades. But I really do love the packaging. I love that they incorporated women of color, even though these palettes kind of don't incorporate women of color. So this is the Lo-Fi Rose. I've seen this shade on a woman of color, and it actually did work. And this is a really pretty highlighter. I'll swatch them for you. They're really silky, really pretty colors. But yeah, they're better on the face. You know, every blush is better on the face. The other one I have is probably my favorite one. It's the Lo-Fi Duo Blusher in Lo-Fi Peach, which looks like this. I love pairing these two together for glowy, beachy looks. So I'll swatch them for you. The matte ones are so soft. Like, I love how soft they are. So that's those 2 blushes. So now let's get into my favorite blush formula, and I want to collect all the shades from this blush formula. It is the Buxom Primer Infused Blushes. I have 2 shades. I have Seashells and I have Dolly. I'll show you Dolly first. The reason why I love these is that they last a really long time, which I really like. So this is Dolly. That's Dolly right here. Willow, you'll come in at the end, I promise. And then this is Seychelles right here. The next blush I have is very popular on YouTube. It is the Milani Luminoso blush. I'm not going to swatch this one because you've all seen this blush before. And then let's talk about my creams. I have two from Fenty Beauty. I have the shades Fuego Flush, which is the orange one. I'll open them in a second. And I have the shade Rose Latte, which is like a nudie brown color. It's probably my personal favorite. I like the orange one, but it's kind of not as, it doesn't show very well on my face. So here's the orange one. Here's the orange one. It's like has a gold sheen to it, which I really like, so it adds a little bit of a sheen. I'm not gonna swatch these because they sometimes stain my skin if I don't have anything underneath it. And then here's the Rose Latte one. It's much lighter. Actually, I'll swatch this one because so you can see what it looks like when it's blended out. I have a spot. So if you see that, like that right there, that's Rose Latte. So it's really pretty. So next blush is my ColourPop stick. I rubbed it off. I've had this for a while. This is my blush stick in the shade Aloha, which is a very pretty color. It's that shade right there. It's like a little rosy tone. And then I have two of the Glossier paints. I have the shade Beam and the shade Dusk. So I got the two neutral shades. Dusk is actually the one I'm wearing on my face today. It's like a bronzy, like rose shade. And then this is very peachy. I like wearing this during the summer when I'm tanner. But yeah, those are my blushes. I hope you guys enjoyed. So now let's move on to highlighter, which is probably my biggest category. Now for highlighters, I have a few highlighters. I'm going to start with my Kaleidos ones. I have 3 Kaleidos highlighters. I love all 3 of them. I really want the shades Moon Cruiser and Diamond Dasher. That's probably going to be the next 2 on my list. I have Ray Rider, which is the neutral one. This is probably my favorite highlighter in my collection, just because I like the way it stays on my face throughout the day. And it's really high shine. This is Comet Catcher, and this one has like a pink shift to it. It's a hot pink shift, which is super fun with like a really bright neon blush. I really like pairing this shade with that peach blush in the Blushing in Bali palette from BH Cosmetics. So yeah, that's that shade. It's super pretty. And then this one I use a lot because I love grungy yellow greeny looks. This is my yellow shifting highlighter that has a little bit of a green hint to it. So that's that one. So those are my Kaleidos highlighters. A lot of my other highlighters I have are just individuals, except ColourPop, I think. Yeah. So my next individual is Cookie from Benefit. This is the highlight I'm currently wearing, so I'm not going to swatch it, but you can really see how beaming it is. So this is my highlight that I have on. I love this highlighter. It's probably my newest highlighter, and I love it. This is the one I got for Christmas from my mom, which now I want all the shades from this. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlighter in the shade Privilege. This is the one I wore in that makeup tutorial. I really want the shades Amnesia, Ozone. I want some of the blush colors in Lola and Truth. I just really want to get more involved in this formula because I tried the bronzer and the highlighter and I like them both. Probably my favorite highlighters, or my next 2 favorites are my favorites. This is the Pixie Duo in Delicate Dew. As you can see, I hit pan on one side. I love both of these. These are so blinding and great. I'll swatch them very lightly for you because I want to keep the product as much as possible. But yeah, these highlights are super blinding and pretty. Then I have the Amrezy highlighter, which I also hit pan on. You can see. I love this highlighter. It's so good. And it's probably one of my other favorite highlighters. I love wearing this highlighter when I do choir shows. My next highlighters I have are from ColourPop, and then I also have 2 from Becca, which I'll show in a second. One of them's broken, so I kind of want to save that one for last. All 3 of these are Super Shock highlighters. So I have the shade Honeymoon, which is a purple blue shift. If you can see that, it's a purple blue shift. And it's still very nice. I love wearing this when I do purpley eyes. And then the other 2, you know, like, they're the most popular ones. So next one is ColourPop Flexitarian, which I like when it's sheared out. I don't like it when it's super blinding because it's way, way, way too pale for me. Like, it's super pale. It's so pale. I am so not this pale. Like, it's just too pale. It's too pale. It's too pale. It's too icy. If you like icy blinding highlights, then you'll like this, but like, it's just too icy for me. I prefer golden highlights. They're my favorite. Next one is Lunch Money, which is probably my favorite out of the three because I like wearing it when I went to school because it was very sheer. I actually had pan on it, so that can tell you something. So next are my two Becca ones. I have Moonstone and I have Champagne Pop. Champagne Pop is my favorite, and it's definitely the one that's shattered. So, very gentle with her. This is Champagne Pop, if you can see. So she's shattered. They shatter so easily. Don't travel with these ever. That's all I can tell you. I'm swatching Champagne Pop for you because it's so pretty. It's this one right here. It's my favorite golden toned highlight besides the one in my glow kit. And then this is Moonstone, which I like a lot too. It's very nice. It's like a pale gold. But yeah, those are all my highlighters, and that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. This was all of my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and face palettes. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I am currently waiting on a package from Beauty Bay. I am getting the Bouncy Brilliance highlighter from a Beauty Bay, the palette that's supposed to be similar to these ColourPop formulas, but they're more golden toned, so I think I'll like them more. And then I have two eyeshadow palettes coming in the mail. I have the Moonspell palette by Lunar Beauty, and I have the Nabla's Side to Side palette coming in the mail, or Side by Side palette coming in the mail. I can never remember the name of that palette. It's the neutral palette that just recently came out. And if you're curious what's on my eyes today, it is the Carnival palette by Be Perfect Cosmetics, which is becoming one of my favorite palettes in my collection. I just recently got it, and it is so amazing. I've probably done 10 looks with it so far, and I am loving every single look I do, and it's becoming amazing, and I just am so excited to have this palette. So I'm excited for my new stuff that's coming. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any recommendations of videos you would like to see from me in the future, leave them down below because I really want to please my audience and make sure that I'm filming what they want. So I appreciate you watching this video. Please like and subscribe and comment, and I hope to see you on my next one. Someone wanted to say hello before we leave. This is Willow. She was the one meowing at the door. She has separation anxiety. Don't you, Willow? But yeah, bye!